They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So that penalty will back them up half the distance to the goal line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his...
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And this one is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Gone!
Now Jackson throwing again, eluding the pressure right. Now he'll go deep down the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Moss. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Now a first down throw for Newton. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to the back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. To the air again, Newton. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Newton throwing again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Gun.
They snap it to Newton. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Newton on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit, Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And that is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Newton. Now he's forced out right. He's got his tight end in Njoku. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Again, Newton. Touchdown, Packers. David Njoku, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
As far as tight ends go, if you get 3 or 4 touchdowns in a season, that's usually counted as a pretty good year.
And CD, he just hit double digits. That's 10 touchdowns for him now.
Yeah, and that's something you really have to applaud. That's elite level production.
And that'll set him back 5. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Point after, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kenny Clark getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. On 2nd down, Jackson flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Steps away to his left. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
On first down, Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Well, this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Out of the gun, Newton. Throw left side complete. That's low. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
He got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
On first and goal, Gore. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we...
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Emerson Griffin in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. In for the score. And the Packers add on to their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Twisting away. And with flags down, he's up near the 40. But it looks like this one might be coming back. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hey, switch. 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 Cut!
On first and 10, it's Jackson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Powerful running. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that one results in 35 yards.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Now Jackson on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 7, and it's a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, here's Jackson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. From the gun, it's Jackson. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Spinning away. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Pretty move. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And here now the offense heading back out there. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On third down, Jackson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. On the return, Hester. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Play action. It's Newton. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Let's rock now. Ready? 180.
From the gun, here's Newton. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Tough there, good pass, hit the hands, he just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there. 41 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. They get it to him running left, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. Santos with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now he spins free. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some, because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. On second down, here's Newton. Forced out to his left. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. To throw on third down. Newton. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch.
And that's caught inside the 35. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
That's going to be caught, and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Martavis Bryant, his 5th touchdown now on the year, and the Packers add on to their lead. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free, and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better. We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson steps away. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2, nowhere to go. Here he lost the football, but fortunately another offensive player quick to react, and they will indeed retain possession.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets
what's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, the rest. Hey, I got that chicken to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that car. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rafe in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from feeling all kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the